The death of civility. Have you ever felt like the world has become a colder place? Walk through any city in the world today, here in 2026. Look around you. You'll see thousands of people connected to their screens, yet completely disconnected from the person standing right next to them. No one asks for permission anymore. Few say thank you, and the concept of yielding the right of way feels like a relic from an archaeological museum. There was a time when an unwritten code existed. It wasn't a law enforced by the police. It was a law dictated by the heart and by one's upbringing. It was called civility. It was that invisible glue that made a society, despite all its problems, feel like a home. Today, that code seems to have been erased. We're told that being tough or individualistic is the key to success, but the reality is that we've never been more alone. If you feel like something has broken in the way we live together, this video is for you. Today, we aren't just going to talk about good manners. We're going to discover why civility is in fact the purest form of loving your neighbor, and how the Bible predicted this social cooling would happen. Stay until the end, because I'm going to give you the keys to starting a silent revolution in your own community. The word that was worth an empire. Just a few decades ago, a person's word was their greatest asset. If someone said, "I'll be there at 8," you could bet your life that by 7:55, they'd be waiting. You didn't need 100-page contracts drafted by AI lawyers to ensure honesty. There was an ethic of respect. Civility comes from the Latin civis, meaning citizen. Being a citizen wasn't just about carrying a passport. It was about understanding that my rights end where yours begin, and that my freedom is only valuable if it protects yours. In ancient times, respect for elders was the backbone of civilization. It was understood that gray hair wasn't just a sign of age, but a map of wisdom. Today, in our throwaway culture, it seems that if something isn't new, it's useless. We've stopped listening to our elders to listen to algorithms. But the Bible is clear. Stand up in the presence of the aged. Show respect for the elderly. Leviticus 19:32. Civility begins by recognizing the value of those who walked before us. Civility as a biblical mandate. Many think the Bible only talks about praying and going to heaven, but the reality is that it's the greatest manual on civility ever written. Jesus didn't just come to save us from our sins, he came to teach us how to live together. When Jesus said, "Love your neighbor as yourself," he wasn't offering a romantic suggestion, he was establishing the foundation of social coexistence. Civility is love for neighbor put into practice in the smallest details. It's not littering on the street because you know someone else will have to pick it up, or that your children will live in a dirty world. It's turning down your music out of respect for the neighbor who has to wake up early for work tomorrow. It's being on time because the other person's time is just as valuable as yours. The Apostle Paul took this to a civic level in Romans 13, verse 7. Give to everyone what you owe them. If you owe taxes, pay taxes. If revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. If honor, then honor. Paul didn't live in a perfect democracy. He lived under the Roman Empire, an often unjust system. Even so, he instructed believers to be the best citizens. Why? Because our public conduct is the testimony of our private faith. If you claim to love a God you cannot see, but you don't respect the neighbor you can see, there is a fracture in your integrity. The me-first epidemic. What happened to us? At what point did we stop greeting each other in the elevator? The answer lies in one word: individualism. In 2026, the system is designed to make you focus only on yourself. Your social media shows you only what you like, your apps serve only you, and success is measured by how much you manage to accumulate. This focus has created a society of isolated atoms. Civility has died because civility requires sacrifice. It requires me to stop being the center of the universe for a moment so that someone else can go first. Matthew 24 verse 12 says something that will give you chills. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. Notice it doesn't say that hate will grow, but that love will grow cold. Social coldness, the indifference to the suffering of others, the refusal to get involved to help someone, that is the lack of civility. It is the cooling of the collective soul. And change the atmosphere of our homes, our streets, and our workplaces. Civility is contagious. When you greet someone who is having a bad day with a genuine smile, you break a cycle of negativity. When you pick up a piece of trash from the ground that you didn't drop, you are declaring that this space belongs to everyone. Imagine the power of a community that returns to the basics. Your word is your bond. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Let your yes be yes. This builds trust, and trust is the most valuable capital any nation possesses. The golden rule of traffic. Driving with courtesy. Yielding the right of way doesn't take away your time, it gives you peace. Silence and respect. Understanding that your freedom of expression doesn't give you the right to be rude or to invade the mental space of others. The unwritten laws. To understand where we are going, we must look back. In ancient times, a person's public conduct was a direct reflection of their home. It wasn't about appearances, it was about dignity. There were norms of conduct that might seem strange to us today, but they maintained order and peace without the need for shouting or police. 1. The value of the greeting and recognition. In past times, entering a place and not offering a greeting was considered a way of erasing the other person. A greeting wasn't just courtesy, it was a declaration of peace. By saying, "Good morning," you were saying, "I see you, I recognize you as an equal, and I wish you well." In the Bible, the greeting was sacred. Jesus told his disciples, "As you enter the home, give it your greeting." Matthew 10:12. Today, in 2026, we walk into an elevator or a store staring at our phones, ignoring that there is a person in front of us with struggles, dreams, and pains. To reclaim the greeting is to reclaim our humanity. 2. Deference toward vulnerability, yielding the way. There was a time when the law of the strongest existed, but ancient civility imposed the law of the wisest. Giving up your seat to a pregnant woman, an elderly person, or someone with a heavy load wasn't an act of weakness, it was an act of chivalry and honor. It was taught that the strong protect the weak. Today, the rule seems to be first come, first served, but ancient wisdom dictates, honor the face of the old man. When you give up your place, you are sending a message to the universe. My comfort is not more important than my neighbor's need. 3. Etiquette at the table and in speech. Do you remember when it was said that at the dinner table we don't talk about divisive topics? That was civility. The harmony of the home was protected. You didn't interrupt the person speaking, you listened until the end. James 1:19 gives us the golden rule. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Ancient codes of conduct taught us to control our tongues. Today, social media invites us to do the opposite, to fire off words before thinking. Ancient civility was in essence self-control. 4. Caring for the public image and common space. In past times, people swept the front of their houses, not just for cleanliness, but out of respect for their neighbor. It was understood that the street was an extension of everyone's home. There was the concept of not being burdensome or not being a nuisance to others. This included avoiding unnecessary noise, dressing with decorum for the occasion, and watching one's language in front of children and women. It was a culture of consideration. Modern civility. 1. Digital civility, the new frontier. There was no social media in ancient times, but today, civility is measured by how you comment and share. The ancient rule: if you have nothing good to say nothing at all. Current application: not participating in social media lynch mobs, not spreading fake news, which is a form of lying, Exodus 20:16, and responding with gentleness even to insults. Being a peacemaker in the YouTube comments is pure civility. 2. The dictatorship of the like versus the discipline of respect. Today, people seek instant approval. Modern civility is practiced when no one is watching. Picking up trash in a park even if there are no cameras filming you for a TikTok. Silencing your phone in church or at the movies out of respect for the sacred or shared space. The challenge: doing it out of conviction, not for recognition. That is what the Bible calls doing it for the Lord and not for men. 3. Civility as resistance to noise. We live in the noisiest era in history. Practicing civility today means respecting the silence of others. Not using your phone's speaker in public transport. Not honking your horn desperately in a traffic jam. This proves you have self-control, a fruit of the Spirit, Galatians 5:23, something that is in short supply today. 4. Revaluing the extra mile. Because no one does it, when you do, you shine twice as bright. Greeting the security guard by name, returning the shopping cart to its place instead of abandoning it in the parking lot. These small actions are salt and light. People will wonder, why is this person different? The bridge to real value. Why did they practice this? It wasn't out of fear of punishment. It was because of honor. Honor was that internal compass that prevented you from doing something shameful, even if no one was watching. The civility of the past was based on the premise that we are all carriers of the image of God. If I insult you, if I ignore you, if I litter in your space, I am insulting the Creator who made you. The value of being a person of honor. You might ask yourself, what good does it do me to be polite if no one else is? It serves you because civility grants you moral authority. In a world of people shouting, the person who speaks with respect is the one who is truly heard. In a world of selfish people, the helpful person is the one who becomes indispensable. Being an exemplary citizen isn't being weak. On the contrary, it requires immense strength of character to maintain your composure when others lose theirs, and to keep your integrity when the easiest thing would be to give in to the chaos. It is the courage to uphold your values in the face of the mockery of cynics, because in the end, true strength doesn't reside in those who impose themselves by force, but in those who have the self-control to respond with honor in a world that has forgotten it entirely. The 10 Commandments of the Citizen of Faith, 2026 edition. It's not about etiquette, it's about honor. It's not about rules, it's about love for your neighbor put into practice. 1. Honor others' time as your own. Punctuality is the first form of respect. Arriving on time says, your life and your commitments are valuable to me. 2. Your word shall be your most sacred contract. In a world of empty promises, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Integrity doesn't need signatures when there is character. 3. Greet and recognize the dignity of the other. No one is invisible. A good morning to the guard, the cashier, or the neighbor recognizes that they are children of God before they are employees or strangers. 4. Yield the way and the seat out of honor, not obligation. The strong protect and serve the vulnerable. Giving up your spot is an act of humility that defeats modern selfishness. 5. Care for common spaces as if they were your own home. Don't litter, don't damage what belongs to everyone. Stewardship starts on the street you walk and in the park where your children play. 6. Master your tongue in the noise and on the web. Digital civility means not insulting from behind a screen.
If it doesn't edify, don't post it. If it's not true, don't share it. 7. Respect the silence and peace of your neighbor. Your freedom ends where another's rest begins. Do not be an auditory or visual burden to those around you. 8. Ask please and say thank you from the heart. These aren't magic words, they're keys that open doors and soften the hardest hearts. Never take someone's service for granted. 9. Be a peacemaker in the midst of chaos. In the face of rudeness, respond with courtesy. In the face of shouting, respond with calm. A gentle answer turns away wrath. Proverbs 15:1. 10. Do good even if no one is recording you. True civility is born when there are no cameras, no likes, and no applause. It is done because it is right in the eyes of God. Conclusion: the challenge of being a light in the crowd. At this point, we must ask an honest question. Why is it so difficult to practice civility today, yet at the same time more possible than ever? It's difficult because the current system is designed to feed our egos. We live in the era of limitless authenticity, where we've been taught that filtering our conduct is being fake. We're told that if someone cuts us off, we must take our place back. If someone insults us, we must shout louder. If no one else cleans up, why should we? Civility today is hard because it requires sacrifice, sacrificing our pride, our comfort, and our time for the sake of a stranger. In a world racing towards me first, stopping to say you first feels like a defeat. But why is it possible? It's possible because even if the world changes, the human heart still has the same thirst for order, respect, and peace. Civility is possible because it is a seed we all carry inside. When you choose to be polite in the midst of rudeness, you're not being naive. You are being an intervener. You are breaking someone else's cycle of bitterness. It's possible because today, due to the scarcity of good manners, a gesture of courtesy has the power of a miracle. In the past, being kind was normal. Today, being kind is memorable. An honest thank you, a seat given up with a smile, or a word of honor kept. These shine today with an intensity our grandparents never knew. We don't practice civility so the world will applaud us, but because we are citizens of a different kingdom. We do it because we understand that true freedom isn't doing whatever we want, but having the character to do what is right. Civility hasn't died. It's asleep, waiting for people like you and me to wake it up with our actions. Don't wait for society to improve before you start treating it with respect. Be the respect you want to see. Be the peace the world needs. Because at the end of the day, civility isn't about how the world treats you, but about who you choose to be, despite the world. Your legacy. Civility is the legacy we leave to those who come after us. If we want our children to live in a kinder world, we have to start building it today with our own hands. Don't wait for the government or institutions to do it. You do it. You are an ambassador, not just of your country, but of a much higher kingdom. When people see you, let them see someone who knows the Bible, but lives it in the way they treat the waiter, in the way they care for their city, and in the way they respect their neighbor.